That's just the way that life has kind of worked with me and Terrell. So when I seen him, it was like more of a personification of what it's always been. That's why I broke down in his arms. Also, y'all know, if y'all was there, if I could have seen y'all, I would have broke down for y'all. Because I talk to y'all every week. I'm trying to be the tough guy, trying to be cool about it, fellas. There's no cool in the world you can be. It ain't no cool in the world you can be with that. You will.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the MalloryBrosPodcast. This is what?
220.
220. Finally crossing to the 22s. Terrence is going to find out who area code that is. But happy Tuesday. It's a rainy Tuesday out here in the DMV. But hopefully everybody's weekend was dope. You know, we had one of those past weeks that you never forget on this side. And I guess we start there.
Like you said, it was a rainy weekend, but boy, did we have some sunshine
That's right.
this past week. It's funny, y'all. Every time we come back to the podcast, we do a weekend recap, and this feels like the longest period. It feels like we have not did a pod for 2 weeks. It feels like it's been like a brick since we did the podcast. But I have got over here over the years and talked about the number 9 and what it means. There's people who just joined and they want to know what the number 9 means. And we always say the number 9 is your life, right? Number 9 is your life path. If you're living right now, then we say you on your 9. When we say you're not at 9, you on your way to it, right? Because 9 represents completion, believe it or not, you know? It'll take 9 months to bring a baby into this earth. You got 9 systems in your body. It's 9 planets in our solar universe. When you think about completion of this world, it's the number 9, believe it or not. And that's just been something that we have built the channel around. And I know a lot of you, and look, it's 3:09 right now I'm saying this. And that's just 3-9. So that's no coincidence. Terrell,
I haven't said anything. I'm letting you off.
Let me just get it off. I've tried to tell y'all the magic behind the number. I've sat here and said, if you pay attention, I tweet almost every night. I say, if you pay attention on the 9th or any day with whether it's the 9, the 18th, the 27th, if you just pay attention on those days, I always say that, you know, it's not always going to be a good thing. It's not always going to be a bad thing. It's not always going to be a good thing. It's not always going to be, it's not a shooting star. But it is, but in a different way. Like, I always just say that, you know, every window that I've peeked in and been able to make progress as I look through it, when it's because of that 9, I feel like it's just been this, it's like the drinking gore. What is that?
The Big Dipper?
Like the Big Dipper. Almost like the shooting star that we chose to just follow and see where it took me. And I'm going to keep it 100. I would not have met Anjali without that shooting star. We wouldn't be doing what we do right now for a living without that shooting star. And just this past week, we welcomed our baby girl, Sonny James Mallory, on 9/18.
Just before 9 o'clock.
I just don't see how you just don't see the man. To me, after this, y'all, there is absolutely nothing that you could tell me. I could get a 9 tat in the middle of my forehead on some 6'9" shit.
Yeah.
You know? Because, and I'm going to keep it a stack, y'all. It was the most insane thing that I've ever went through just because of the shooting star aspect of it, bro. You know,
Yeah.
Sonny coming to this world is already like one of the most special things that ever happened to me for sure.
Yeah.
That's gonna be that was gonna be the case with any day. But for her to come here on 9/18, if you add it across, that's 3 9s. I started telling y'all this story at 3:09. Did I plan it?
No, you didn't.
Sonny's baby shower in Seattle was on the
27th.
27th. Her baby shower in DC was on, I believe, the 18th.
Terrance, no. It was on like the 11th.
No, it wasn't, Terrell.
Yes, it was. Am I tripping? I could have sworn
the
her baby.
27th.
Nah, I can tell you what
Maybe
it
I
was.
was supposed to look.
Her
7/27.
baby
All right, there you
shower
go.
was
Hook me up.
The 10th.
Oh, okay. 7/27 was the baby shower in Seattle. August 10th. 8/1.
8/10, yeah.
8/10.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't plan none of that. All of this shit fell into place. Did you see me tweet? I said the 9 fell in place. Like looked like it's orchestrated.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing, y'all, I have said has been this. I feel like I saw the start. I feel like I saw the sign that nobody else saw, and I felt like it has literally led me to my life here. My daughter being born, our daughter being born on 9/18 sealed every belief that I had in the number 9, y'all. And I think it is not a religious or it's not I don't want to sound spiritual because you could be a person that just likes, you know, cats or something or whales or whatever you choose to just follow. It could be your thing, but y'all are literally able to witness our shooting star.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna keep it at 100, y'all. The girl is, in my eyes, perfect. And I'm gonna spit one daddy rap.
No, this is the podcast for it.
I'm gonna spit one
You got
daddy
it.
rap. The first daddy rap that came to my mind. You know what I'm saying? My baby mama hotter than a lot of you niggas. Watching push that baby out, y'all. Do y'all know that I was suited up?
First of all, yeah, you have to give us the birth story because it's not a conventional one. It's definitely very different. They heard mine, you know?
Yeah.
It's yours very different from mine. You got to do things that they don't let people do normally, which I think is a blessing in itself. Let's start with, because I want to create structure a little bit. Mm-hmm. Let's start with the morning of the 18th.
The funny thing is, we got to start at the 17th because on the 17th, we had an appointment.
Oh, right.
In the morning. And, you know, we going in and On said, should we take the bags with us? Should we, because we got the bags packed. Should we take them? And we were leaving out. I said, you know what? You still got stuff you need to put in it. So, no. And honestly, I didn't think that we was anywhere near Sonny being here. The closer that we got to the 18th, we were looking at it, of course. Oh, what if it's the 18th? Everybody at the baby shower, I guess. What if it's 9/18, bro? And some of you heard me say to you, I said, it's nothing you'll be able to tell me if it's the 18th. Mm-hmm. We went to the appointment. They said Sonny sound good. They said she sound fine. She's perfect, right? Every single visit that we had, they said she was perfect, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing. She's perfect, just not yet. We even created an appointment to come back on the 25th. Next week, we said, damn, 25th? We about to be pregnant for a whole another week? It is what it is. We was on the way home. Was a little bummed about it. Mm-hmm. And then we got a call from the lady who runs all of the inducing. Is it
Oh,
induction?
okay, yeah.
Am I tripping?
Induction.
Okay, bet.
They probably the planners for it.
Basically, they said there was a very strict lady who had a list where you could be induced, right? But you have to be, things have to fall into place. There's people that's all on the list. Was only 39 weeks. So those lists are specified for people who 41 weeks. And on the 17th, they called and said, yo, we got a spot open tonight at 10 o'clock. If you want to, if you want that, you can be induced tonight. We said, are you kidding me? We leave the appointment thinking we're not going to meet baby anytime soon for another week. And we get a call on the 17th that we getting induced tonight. And we immediately said, oh, shit. So does that mean tonight at 10 p.m., does that mean that tomorrow we meet baby on the 18th? At this point, y'all, I'm like, yo, you know how you gotta see the scoreboard go to 0, then we can celebrate the championship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I can say it was written. So even then, of course, people are like, oh, people telling you, and I'm like, okay, you know, we just gonna see. Everybody that I told, oh, we getting induced tonight. Oh, bro, you about to meet her on the 18th. Oh, bro, it's about to be 9/18, the ones that really know me. And even then, I was like, still in a state of disbelief. They was telling me, you know, it could be 3 days that it takes for her to get here. So I'm still just thinking it could be whatever. I'm not going to give y'all the whole thing, but went to the hospital and through the whole pregnancy, through the entire labor, there was some ups and downs. I won't get into all the ups and downs of it, but
you know, that's natural.
And that's natural. That's why I said, baby mama harder than you. A lot of you niggas, I get what Jay-Z meant with that, because fellas, you're gonna be in a situation where you are supporting, that's it. You watching and that's it, and all you can do is be present. That's all I could do. I wasn't on a Game Boy. I wasn't on a laptop like that. I wasn't putting. Terrell was asking me if I was putting in plays, and I really wasn't. But we just spent a lot of time waiting in the beginning. And then on got the, you know, what she needed. We did everything we had to do. And then they told me that I could suit up and actually catch baby girl as she came into the world. I'm like, okay. Even my dad was like, he haven't done that. Terrell, did you do that?
Hell no. G wanted me to do it. And I was like, I don't know about that. But then when we talked to our doctor, she was like, oh, no. We will not. We even put it in our birth plan.
Yeah.
On paper. And they brought our plan to us and said, you have something in your plan about you catching? You can't. It was that serious. Like our doc, and it's based on doctors, whatever, but you know, he was 8'10", shoulder dystocia candidate. So it was just too much at risk for me to catch. So when I heard that you was going to do that, I said, wow, this motherfucker about to. I couldn't imagine. I remember the feeling of seeing it from behind the doctor's shoulders.
Yeah.
Being that close, man, that's something different. So I was excited for you.
Yeah.
But what was that like? Did you have on scrubs? Did they put the little smock on you? Did you have?
Absolutely. And I wish we took so many Polaroids and then we end up losing them. It's a sad thing. But just because we left him in the room, and apparently there's a procedure where they gotta get the room ready for somebody else, so they throw it away. That sucks. I don't see how you throw away somebody's prized possessions like that.
You could at least say, yo, they over there. Let me take these.
Y'all know we still here. We right downstairs in recovery, and, you know. Anyway, they had me put on a full scrub. I had on a mask with the visor, boots, jacket that went all the way down. We wasn't supposed to record. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. We weren't supposed to record anything, but of course we had cameras rolling the whole time. Do you know who we are?
Right.
You know, every nurse was amazing, but you know, nobody was like a hard ass. So every nurse was so nice that we were able to be nice around. You don't see the camera, that is. Recording the whole thing.
There you go.
But I'm gonna keep it 100, y'all. I hadn't looked at any pregnancy videos before. I'm sorry, not pregnancy. I hadn't looked at any delivery videos before experiencing my own. I wanted it to be completely
for
me.
real.
I never seen a woman give birth except A-Train. That's it. Cause I didn't want to see another baby. I never liked seeing a baby coming out I didn't want to see that. So when A-Train was fully dilated and we started pushing, the doctor was like, "You want to see the head?" Because I feel like they kept saying, "I feel baby's head," and I'm like, "You can feel her head for real?" So of course they let me see, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this about to be real." We've been baking this baby for 9 months, and I'm really about to see her. And it started to click, like, "Oh, this." You know, at first they was like, it could be 12 hours, it could be 5 hours, it could be tomorrow. We still don't know, but it got to a point where,
this happening.
At a second, we had our Dr. Summer. She said, "We're gonna meet baby today." That's when all of the the magic start building up. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting all the chinks on my armor and all of that. And by 8:53, baby girl came into this world. It was an absolute miracle. Came out, and to me, it's still like I'm still in a state of shock behind everything that I did. But literally, y'all, pulled that girl out of A-Train. You know what I mean? Doctor told me how to do it. Pull down and then up. Grab her head, pull down and up. And I'm like, you want me to grab her legit head and pull a new baby? I'm not gonna hurt her. She was like, you're not gonna hurt her. And she was like, I'm gonna be right here. Okay. I'm suited up, gloves. I'm sterilized, so I can't touch nothing.
Yep.
But pulled her out, and I said, yo, I just feel like I just pulled real life into this world. You know what I mean? And then they took her. They set her on the table. She gets the She cried when she came out, but it was very faint cries, very faint, small cries. Not the wailing that you normally hear during a pregnancy. Very small cries. And I'm like, okay, get it going. You know what I'm saying? Get it going. Get her out. You know what I'm saying? Get the mucus out.
Because you want that,
getting the mucus out. And she was like, oh, she's crying. There she goes. There she's crying. And we were like, all right, bet. I'm thinking baby girl just got a small,
a tiny cry.
And I looked at An. We had our moment. Her mom is there. We had that moment. It was a beautiful moment. I'm on cloud fucking 9. My parents, Terrell, Kelly, Candace, they all downstairs. I go downstairs to meet with them. We have a moment. I cried in Terrell's arms. This nigga Terrell, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Why was it me though? I always wanted to know. I wanted to know that. I guess I asked you on the pod.
There's nobody close.
You with dad, you hugged dad, right?
Yeah. And dad was crying. Yeah.
Hug mom and Candace. But when you got to me, is when you finally broke. What was that?
Bro, it's like you was the one. I watched the baby come out the womb. The same. Me and you shared that. So when I saw you, it was like, oh damn, this the dude. Not only that's been telling me about what it was gonna be like, did it before me. If y'all don't know, Terrell has done everything before me in a very weird way. I'm my oldest, but Terrell tied his shoe first. Terrell walked first. Terrell talked first. Terrell taught me mad stuff first. Rode a bike first. Terrell got his driver's license first.
I had a job
learner's first job first. That's just the way that life has kind of worked with me and Terrell. So when I seen him, it was like more of a personification of what it's always been. That's why I broke down in his arms. Also, y'all know, if y'all was there, if I could have seen y'all, I would have broke down for y'all. Because I talk to y'all every week. I'm trying to be the tough guy, trying to be cool about it, fellas. There's no cool in the world you can be. It ain't no cool in the world you can be with that. You will see. Y'all might hear me talking about this, and it might sound like whatever, but the sweet spot that I'm getting to is this here. I get a call from A-Train, who's upstairs with the baby. A-Train was breastfeeding when I left. They said, you can put her you can put her on the breast and she can feed now. So when I left, she was breastfeeding. An called me on the phone, and she just looked mad worried. And she was like, oh, were we already on the phone?
Nah, we was already, I remember it. We were
already
on the phone.
talking to her.
We were just calling to, because she had
I was
a baby.
supposed to be getting her some food from downstairs. Yeah, I was supposed to be getting her food, so I was trying to figure out what she was going to get. And right before I came up there, she was like, okay. She's like, she was breastfeeding, and then she stopped, and she looked, and she said, okay, she's not, breathing. She's not breathing. And then all of a sudden, she said she's turning blue. And I said, show me her. She turned the camera, and my baby, I lie to you not, is as blue as the moon emoji. If everybody got the moon emoji on your phone, that's what always comes to my mind when I see that. And I saw it through FaceTime. I was just right there. You know what I mean? So I'm with my whole family celebrating. An, of course, can't come downstairs. The visiting hours had ended, so I was just meeting them so they can leave, and then I could go back. I was supposed to get food. So I can hear An say, Mom, get the doctor. Her mother ran out. And then you can hear Aunt say, Mom, hurry up.
We all heard that.
Yeah. And I said, okay, I got to run back up there. And leaving them, and they all knew, my whole family knew what had happened. Because I said, oh, she's turning blue. You know what I'm saying? They all knew. They all heard.
We heard. She was on speaker.
My family has been through, and I won't disclose, but we're real sensitive about that. You know, it's all about, you know, we want a safe delivery. We want a safe, healthy babies. And in my family, we've had certain situations.
Tragedy.
And scares, even tragedy. So, you know, I hugged my mother when we got down there, and she was like, you can exhale, you know? Because you always, everything is so, the pressure of getting them here is a lot. When I got on the elevator, I said, this is what this 9 is going to be. It's 9:18, and you always say, use your eyes and look around. And I always say it's not always going to be a good thing. Remember we lost, I think we lost James Earl Jones or one of these stars on a day where I said, use your eyes. And I said, damn, sometimes that 9 is literally your eye opener, and it's not always a good one. Sometimes you pass a test on a 9th, and sometimes you fail. Sometimes when you're looking at it, it's a good thing, a great thing, and then sometimes it's not. When I was on the elevator back upstairs, I'm in the elevator by myself, and I'm like, oh, damn, this is what this 9 gonna be about. Like, I immediately started telling myself that it was too good to be true. Too good to be true. I've never ran also that fast in a hospital. I mean, I'm Usain Bolt off the elevator. Yeah. I had this thing with the girl at the front where she kept telling, I was wearing this sweater. She kept telling me, put on your, what did she kept saying? Put on your visitor tag so you can get in. When I got up there, she don't know what's going on back there. I didn't have my visitor tag on, so she was like, now you want me to let you in without the tag? I don't know what it was, but like I said, she just opened the door. I think she looked at my face.
She could read you, probably.
And she just opened the door. And that's one of the most nuttiest parts of the whole thing, because she looked at me, opened the door, blitzed through that joint, ran to the room, saw baby girl on the table. She wasn't as blue as I saw before. Her hands were blue. Her feet were blue. And then it's a room that I left 4 people in is now about 10, 12 people in. I'm seeing doctors I never seen before. Hey, oh, you're the dad. Oh, okay, I'm this person from the NICU. They start telling us that, you know, she just had a little bit of mucus still in her throat or in her lungs, and that they needed to get it out. By the time they got it out, you could hear her crying, and it was the real cry. It was the real loud one. And for anybody that has a kid, if your baby comes out and doesn't cry for real, every time they cry going forward sounds like life. Like when that baby in there crying, my sister hate to hear a baby cry. I love it. I love it. If she start crying right now, I love to hear it. Because, Terrell, you can relate. When you don't hear it, oh, man.
Yeah. That's the reassurance of, like you said, that clean airway is what you want, especially coming out, especially when the sack break, when they making their way through. The cry is like, oh, okay, cool. Because the cry gets everything that's left out. Right. And they should have got that out in the beginning.
And I had an issue with that girl because she was getting the liquid out of her lungs, but I felt like she was like, oh yeah, she's crying, but Sonny would cry but stop, cry but stop. She wasn't crying. They put her on crying. She wasn't even crying when she was on. She just, we figured we got a chill ass baby that don't really cry like that. That's what I was just thinking. And I'm thinking some babies cry a lot, but maybe this baby don't. The point of this long story, y'all, is I'm not going to say dark. I don't even know how to say it. It might sound spiritual. But when Sonny turned blue as the moon, that's tragedy sitting on my front door. That's everything that we've waited on right here. And I'm in a situation with my whole entire family where that's sensitive as fuck already. You know what I mean? So right when I thought, all right, bet, this is what the 9 means. When I go in there and they say she's fine, she's good. We got it. We got the blood out. They got not the blood. They got the mucus out. You can hear her release this big cry, and we finally heard her cry louder than we ever heard before. And then they took her, put her back on, and we were rubbing her hands so that the blood would go back to her hands. Her hands were still blue as blueberries. I couldn't help but say, if this was the 17th, does Sonny turn back from being blue? If this was the 19th, if it was the 20th, in a weird way, y'all, I feel like the 9 is what was there for me. And you see, that's why I told Terrell, I try not to sound super spiritual with it, but it's that deep for me. Like, if it's not a perfect day, On delivered that baby at 8:53. That's 7 minutes away from 9 o'clock. It was almost the most perfect thing ever. And while I'm about to catch Sonny, they're like 4 pushes, and then we're going to try again. I said, On not going to get her out this time.
And 4 pushes.
And it's going to be at 9 o'clock. I said, this is going to be the most perfect thing ever. This is going to be the most perfect thing ever. It went to being the almost worst thing ever on the 9. But that baby turned back blue. NICU went back downstairs. They didn't have to look nothing. They didn't have to run any extra tests. Every test she got afterwards is perfect. I don't know how else to say it, but like, there's nothing you can tell me about that number because I feel like I wouldn't have met On without that number. I wouldn't have.
Y'all know how Terrence said we just had the big back and forth about what we both believe about like the grind. Remember we had to talk about the grind?
Yeah.
That conversation gives you a window into how Terrence looks at how things align and how things don't happen without other things. And so when this happened this way, and when that happened, it was like, oh, I can't tell him anything now. And it made me believe in it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I created this shit.
Yes.
Low key. But
yes.
You took it to a place that I'd never dreamed of it being. You know what I'm saying? Because I never thought about it that level.
And remember the story I'm telling y'all about how Terrell will see something first, do something first. He saw the shooting star first, and I just kept looking at it. I just kept looking at it, and
we get baby cameos.
Like, yeah. I just kept. I followed it, and I feel like it has literally given me the most perfect 9 that I could ever ask for, and it's that baby girl that just walked past this camera behind right here. Y'all haven't seen, but 9/18, and to be on the front of almost something horrible. Not only can you not tell me that the number's not, this special shooting star, you can't tell me that number did not turn my baby from that blue back to her natural color. Now, every time we have a scare, every time, because we new parents, every time in these first few days where we've been scared, I get my confidence from knowing that she is just covered. Born on 9/18, that girl, y'all, is perfect. I told Terrell, I'm not with the daddy raps. I told y'all, I'm not with the daddy raps. I don't like when people have a baby and it dominates their content. But y'all, the only thing that make me flip on that, and I'll even admit to you all that I'm contradicting everything that I've said. And no, we're not going forward. This is going to be the dad podcast.
No, yeah, of course.
But for this episode, y'all, I just hope that y'all can see. Even what I look like now. There's no jokes. That is the most, I've never been more shocked. And still to this day, I told everybody, I'm in a complete state of shock at what An was able to do. Because she's my 9. The baby coming on that day just solidified that, like, the shit you created, the shit that we followed, the shit that y'all follow. Some of you ride this 9 hard with me. Some of you got the 9 tatted on you. This is, what's the word that I use, Terrell? This to me certifies that number is elite. That number is the reason for this season. That number is the reason why I have everything that I have in this life. You can't tell me anything about it. If y'all thought I was bad before at adding shit up, it just gets worse from here on out. My baby girl came 9/18.
I think you should also give yourself some of that credit because you made it this. I feel like it aligns with you as well. I feel like it's not necessarily just because of it itself. You've legit inherited this and have low-key blazed the trail that other people can follow. You know what I'm saying? And also, but I feel like it kind of works with you at the same time because I won't say that if it's the 20th that don't happen.
Yeah.
I won't say that if it's the 17th that don't happen. But you can't. I don't believe in, as somebody who don't believe in coincidence.
No such thing.
I can't ignore how those stars have aligned, and that's just sometimes how the universe works for you. And some of your favorite number could be 4. This guy told me y'all number's 9, mine is 7. I see 7s everywhere. And
imagine how that dude would feel with his firstborn coming in on
June 14th. I'm sorry, July 14th. 7/14. It would, you wouldn't be able to.
And it's no number like the number 9. It's no, like you add the 918 across. It's the same thing. It always comes back to 9 because 9 is all about completion. Like my favorite thing that I heard in that poem where the dude talks about the 9 is he says 9 reps. He says 9 represents completion. That's all. And he says take notice that the 9th month is the start of fall, right? Mm-hmm. And then he talks about how that's just a segment because 9 looks like the bottom half of a woman when she's pregnant. And then he talks about how the word feminine is, and he talks about how the 9 is the number of the woman, and how the word feminine is really feminine. I want to share that to see how to see it. The woman in 9. I feel like it's bigger than me at this point, y'all. It's bigger than some YouTube shit. I feel like we really have a true shooting star that everybody can follow. This is not just me. The people the people that feel the same way that I do, this is the real magic that I'm talking about, y'all. I feel like legit, it's a dream.
Yeah. That
it's
what childbirth
too perfect to be reality. When I look at that girl face in there, and she is gorgeous, trust me, I said, this shit is too good for reality. I feel like, in a weird way, I ain't gonna say that. You know how you get a moment that's so dope, you feel like you don't even what did you do for real?
Yeah,
to deserve that. Mm-hmm. That's why when that baby turned blue, I said, I guess this is what it was always about. This was the 9 lesson that you needed, you know? Mm-hmm. And what's fucked up, y'all, is if tragedy struck, it wouldn't have changed my outlook on it. I'd have been looking at it in a completely different way. Mm-hmm. Don't mean to sap y'all out. This is supposed to be the most precious story ever. And it is.
It's amazing.
Sonny came into this world, 7 pounds, 6.3 ounces. She was perfect. She still is perfect. I couldn't ask for a better experience from the nurses, doctors. Everything was smooth.
Yeah.
An's pregnancy was smooth. An is a fucking beast. An is the biggest beast of this whole thing. The biggest beast of the whole thing is An. An pushed that baby out, no tears, no rage, no nothing. An pushed that baby out. An was cracking jokes in between pushing. Push. If you ever been in a delivery room, it's all right. We're gonna push. All right, bet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your woman's pushing.
Yeah, up to 10.
Up to 10. When I tell y'all, push that baby out, like I've lifted weights and seen my own face look more strained and fucked up than that. The lady said, we're gonna push 4 times, and on one of these pushes, baby's gonna come out. She said, okay, so let's start. First push, 1, 2, 3, 4, baby's out.
Are you serious? On the first push?
On the very first push, not the very first push of the thing, we have been pushing for a little minute, but for about, what?
Oh,
about
okay, yeah.
15, 20 minutes she pushed? And then maybe around the 30-minute mark, that baby slipped out, slip and slide. Came out like this with I think I saw this shoulder first because I caught her that way, and then we had to turn. She turned. But
You cut the cord?
Cut the cord. My life completely changed. Completely changed. I'm that same dude, though. But
I told him that. That was the first thing I said because I knew it. I said, oh, your life just changed forever. And it's one of them things that you know is going to happen.
yeah.
Like when you see it, it's almost like on some Bird Box shit. Once you see that light, you're going to run to it. Even you going to damn run into traffic, even though that's way completely a terrible example because they were killing themselves in that movie. But it's like, I can't explain to you what I saw until you see it. For real. And that's why when Terrance said, yo, she's here, she's whatever, she's here, 7 pounds, whatever, I just put, your life just changed. And what's crazy is y'all met us when we was 19 years old on YouTube. You can go back on our YouTube page to when we was in high school, 18, right? And so what's dope about the experience for as a content creator is it's a lot of y'all. I met this dude yesterday, right? I got my son and the fiance. We went to Sweet Frog, which is trash. That's a completely different conversation.
Sure.
Great for kids. But, you know, we just out. I'm letting my son run around the grass. And he was like, yo, are you one of the MalloryBros? I'm like, yeah. He was like, man, I used to watch y'all when I was in high school. And it's like, I remember I just watched the company man's response to What's the Dirt, where he was talking about how I didn't realize that my audience was a certain age at one point when I was making videos. And he was talking about how people came up to him saying, yo, I was in high school, watched y'all. It's a lot. It's niggas in the NFL that now that watched me and Terrence when they was in high school and they still got, they millionaires now.
NFL, NBA, top
NFL,
NBA, musicians, and other countries.
It's we probably pretty much soccer. Tennis players. It's people that were just kids. Some of y'all, right, have gone on to have kids, start families, whatever. That was just kids when y'all started watching us. And I know it's special for us at a certain level. And shout out to anybody who might be new to the podcast and watching. But for those who have been watching since we was in my mom's basement, I didn't have a girl. Terrence didn't have a girl. We used to talk about going on dates and stuff and all of this stuff. And now to see us go from boys to legit men that have a duty bigger than the duty of fatherhood is of just, I'm not even gonna say fatherhood, but parenthood, but specifically black fatherhood, like stepping into a completely different world. Like y'all legit get to watch us experience some shit that you don't really get to see from people. You don't, unless they're your friends that you grew up with or your family, cousin, brother type shit. So it's actually so dope, and I'm so glad that y'all get to bear witness to us legit growing up on the net. That's the craziest thing about it. Like this shit come with, there's certain shit that come with the game, and a lot of y'all tune back in. A lot of the takes we make, a lot of the opinions we may have, y'all might not fuck with it. there's certain people that I know that listen to this podcast that disagree with 90% of what I say, or 80%, or you always on the Terrance side, or you always on my side. But the fact that y'all tune back in and tune back in and tune back in mean it's real love there. I got people who podcasts I watch that I just don't agree with them most of the time. I've been listening to Joe Budden for years. Most of the stuff Joe be saying, I'd be like, oh, here Joe go again. But I love that nigga because I've been watching him since I was in 2012. I got into his music heavy. And then I found out he had a podcast on SoundCloud. And now look at it today. I'm a nigga that's been watching the show for 10 years. I've disagreed with you for 10 years, but it's love there because that's what it is, kind of y'all like family.
That's why I'm going back. I've even filmed myself going back and forth with dudes on Twitter. And it's like, fuck out of here. You don't know what the fuck you talk about. Fuck out of here. But then they say, hey, but I just seen you had a baby, bro. Congrats. And then it's immediate love after.
Yeah.
Cause fuck it.
Because whatever we talking about is
bullshit. And let me tell you something as far as Joe Budden. This one thing that I will say. If you're sitting down with your boy and y'all just talking and you record it, you have to thank Joe Budden. Mm-hmm. If you're sitting down with a podcast mic, you and your homeboy on a couch and y'all just chatting, you have to thank Joe Budden. If you're sitting down on a podcast and you talking about music and you reviewing albums and you cracking jokes, you playing sounds, you're reading, you might be reading a recent news and talking about that, reviewing an album when it first drops. If you're doing anything like that and you sitting down and talking, you have to give credit to Joe Budden. That nigga is
let me say this.
The reason why it popped. Joe Budden is the Caitlin Clark of podcasting.
For black folks, yes.
For podcast, period, I think.
But especially in the culture. But I will say this. Joe Budden's not the reason that I won the podcast. I got to give that credit to Rory and Maul. And this is very true. Because if you sitting down with your boy doing a pod, like Joe had an audience. He was already famous. This nigga was on Love and Hip Hop. He was already a successful rapper. Like, he was a familiar name. Like, he had brought an audience with him from his music, i.e. me. When I met Rory and Maul, it was like, here go two dudes who are not, like, famous, who I've grown to love and value their opinion, and they're regular people. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people don't give them enough credit for how people saw...
I don't gotta be famous.
There's two regular guys that literally made it to become millionaires off the couch. Mm-hmm. With Joe, even though Joe was famous, and even though he's the figurehead and we wouldn't have that pod without him, I could never leave them out of those flowers because it was them that made me think, hey, we regular guys, but maybe our opinion could catch and people will start fucking with us like them because they wasn't famous.
Yeah.
So... when people shit on them type shit, and Maul had his era, this past, to me was the best pod era he's ever had because for a long time people used to say, oh, he never really want to take a position. He'd take a strong position this time, and it is what it is. But they play a huge role in inspiring niggas to sit down as well. Random flowers for that era.
That era, yeah.
Because
and I think me saying that Joe Budden is the Caitlin Clark of podcasting I think that's a good one. Because
it brought a lot of eyes to something that niggas
people doing it before, but who did it to a level that made everybody pay attention? That made not only people pay attention, but feel like they can get involved. To me, his podcast is still going because of that startup. But just to dumb it back, y'all, and just finish out this thing. On the 9th, I used my eyes and saw that posted on the 9th, I used my eyes and saw that A-Train posted The Untethered Soul. I went and bought that book and read it, right? Mm-hmm. And then I told her that I read it. And that's kind of how we connected. We both went through a breakup, and it was the 9th that even told me go look at Shawty's story. And I tweeted that day, use your eyes, look around. And the only thing that I saw that day was that she posted that book. Did I tell her that I bought the book? No. I just bought the book, read it. And that book fucked me up. Remember, if you want to read any book that's going to fuck you up.
In a what way, though?
In a way where you realize you're fucked up. In an inside-out two-way. Where you start realizing, oh, shit. Yes. It's called The Untethered Soul. That book is the reason why me and met, believe it or not. That's the reason why we really got together. I asked her to be my girlfriend on April 18th.
Terrence, we get the 9 thing is real. You don't got to
All I'm
go
gonna say
through
is
all
this.
Okay.
I'm in it. You're right. For our baby to be born on 9/18, what the fuck could you tell me? What could you tell me?
Yeah, that's when I gave it up. When we were sitting downstairs, and I just happened to look at the thing and I said, y'all, it's 9/18. And you had already said, she's pushing, or the pushing started or whatever. I told G, I'm going to try to be back by midnight. Mind you, she had the biggest test of her life.
The next day.
Shout out to Fiance, just passed the NCLEX. Certified.
Yes, sir.
RN, BSN.
Put respect on it.
Household income going up
on a Tuesday.
But I was like, I'm going to be back by like 12. I'm going to try. Then I was like, if she come like 1 a.m., I'm going to just have to go up there tomorrow. I'm going to take crew because she got the test. But I couldn't have G up all night because crew like to just get up and be up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but I knew she had that test. So I was like, I'm going to go up here and try to be back. I get up there, y'all. It's like 8 and change. 8:12, I think I got there. Yeah. Mom and them was already up there. So
Mom and them was up there since like 12 too. They was up there
all day. And when you told me, yo, the pushing started, I said, it's only 8. It's like 8:20.
She could either push for 4 hours.
I said, she ain't going to push, because first of all, you ain't going to push for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You ain't going to push 4 hours. So I said, damn, she about to be born on 9/18. I told them downstairs, I said, y'all, we ain't going to be able to tell Terrence nothing about this 9 shit. It's too real. But just so we can wrap that, how do you feel now? Like, I think people want to know kind of like how your days have been. You know, y'all been home. You don't look exhausted. He's doing a fantastic better job than I did. When it was me coming home, like I feel like they have done a fucking, they put on a masterclass of how to deal with a newborn for them to be new parents. Because y'all know me. I didn't want to do this podcast this week. I said, bro, you don't need to be doing no podcast this week. We need to take a week off so you can get your bearings.
I had to force Terrell to be here today, y'all. I said, fuck that. Come through. Baby girl will be right in that room.
Shit crazy, bro. But again,
y'all, I would say y'all niggas mean y'all, not niggas, sorry. Y'all really mean a lot to me. I would say that. Do y'all know how many registry gifts that I've got? I can't even count the gifts that these people have purchased. Like, we don't want for anything for this baby, for real. I mean, shit, I have had to buy some shit.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't get everything. But
yep.
If I didn't have a family, I had y'all. If I had no family and nobody from my family bought anything, I still had everything I needed from y'all.
Yeah.
Which, to me, that puts that makes y'all my, and y'all been that, but like, I told Terrell, fuck that. This got to be a week where we just at least get together and just give them what we going through. It's a personal episode, this one. But to me, I think it was 100% worth it. I'm glad this is going to be on wax. I'm glad that everybody can look back and be like, yo, I'm glad y'all get to see me on my, this nigga's on his daddy. But I'm glad y'all get to see me transition into what I believe is a real man. I was telling my dad, I think I was a stand-up dude before my baby. And I think now I just look at myself way different.
Yeah.
Like, it's not about me anymore. Now it's about taking care of both them 9s that I got in there. From the A train down to the Sunny girl. I told you, y'all gonna see me get a little bit more softer.
Yes.
Definitely a lot softer in here.
I'll tell you this on the pod. Me and G was talking about how proud we were of who you've already become. Because, and it's on wax, I would tell Terrence, like, yo, you gonna be tired as fuck. Like, you gonna be this, you gonna be that. And Terrence always played it, you know what, maybe I'm not like you. Maybe I don't just maybe I'm not the person that's gonna be so, whatever. Like, maybe I'm not gonna be such much of a hard ass as you. Maybe, y'all different. Y'all, And that resistance comes from Terrell doing everything before me and warning me and telling me what it's gonna be like. And I'm like,
Man, F him, dog. I want my own experience. But go ahead.
It's funny because we was talking about like Gigi is a nurse, like, so Terrance will call and be like, yo, where's G? I got a question, like, whatever. She's a mother baby nurse too. So like, she about to be, her specialty is maternity. So when Terrance call, asks about certain things, and she like giving the advice, whatever, when we get off the phone, she's always like, he really shocked me because I thought he would be more laid back. Like some dads are, which is not a problem because normally it's the mom. You know, mom get that instinct. Dad gold days by stereotype or by, you know, what they say is toddler days is where we shine, right? Mm-hmm. But men don't get enough credit for how much we, you know, do within the newborn phase. But sometimes it's tough because sometimes the newborn phase, we feel like the baby don't really fuck with us. The crying get to us. Mm-hmm. So we were surprised to see and proud to see all that you've done so far and the person that you've already become. So,
and I've seen my whole family do that. I've seen, because I did kind of always play the, I'll be all right. Like when I was feeding Sonny the other day in front of Dad, and Dad was like, way to go, Dad. Because she didn't want the bottle, so I just know the girl by now already. And I put the bottle there, took it away, stuff like that to make her eat. Nothing special, but my dad was like, wow, Dad, way to go. Wow, I see how you figured that out. And little stuff like that lets me know a lot of people did think that I was going to be some lame-ass dad. Let me just say this one thing, that we can wrap it. The doctor that helped us deliver Sonny, Dr. Summer, who we love, and we love that Dr. Summer delivered Sonny. She told me that she has been doing this for 10 years, and I was maybe the 5th dad that ever wanted to be as involved as I was, wanting to catch. We asked her, can I catch her? Is it okay if he catches her? And they were saying it depends on which doctor you get. We got the most perfect doctor. She said, hell yeah, you get dressed when I get dressed. You're going to catch you. I'm going to put you right there. Fellas, we got to get them numbers up. We got to get them numbers up. Because
that's true.
At our age now, I don't have time to be a ain't shit nigga that's not giving a fuck. What am I doing it for? Me and Terrell was talking about how the years of 25 to 29 are probably some of the most important years of your life. And this is outside of me having a baby, y'all. You look funny at 30 doing something that you was just doing at 29. You actually look very funny now. Like, when you tricking off on girls, when you out here serving, when you out here, look, you might be a nigga that just raced his car. When you're 25 to 29, those are the last years you have of the bullshit before we start asking you what that's adding up to.
Because you could do all of that.
You could keep doing it. Let's say you race, but that pays your bills. We're not going to ask you that question.
Exactly.
You know? Let's say you are, but some of you, or some people, and you think you young. 25, you 26, you think you young, you think you got your whole life, and you do. But you need to understand that from 25 to 26, when you turn 30, people are going to turn around and look at what you did from 25 to 29. And now that you're 30, it's what the fuck is he doing? Some of you have been single your whole life. You could be single through your whole 20s. It's totally fine. But when you turn 30, it's not that you need to get a partner, but that's when people will start asking, not are you going to, but why haven't you? When you turn 30, that's where if you're still in school at 30, it don't look like, oh, you have ambition to graduate. It look like you still are not graduated. And I'm not talking about for the people to go back to school.
No, yeah.
That's why I said those years at 25 to 29, those are the years that are your last years to be young and you get away with the bullshit. Oh, okay, he's young. He's 25. Okay, he's young. He's 26, 7, 8. When you turn 30,
the conversation does change. That
conversation turns into a more judgmental, why are we even doing this? What is it adding up for?
That's a fact. And it's something about when you turn 27, because 25 to 26 is like, you still, I'm only 26, so I'm still figuring out. For me, when I turned 27, I started thinking about when I was young and I had older cousins that was turning 27. I was like, you a motherfucking adult for real, 27, 28, 29. Now you at 30. It is, you put it the best way you can put it. You have to start thinking about, and I'll tell you, as somebody who didn't have it all the way figured out at 20, I didn't figure my life. We ain't start, doing this full for real until 20. I was what, 26.
Okay.
26, 27. 26, 27. No, 26 for sure.
26.
But by 21, I was already in a career. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In a career mindset. And I do see a lot of people, right? And we live in one of the toughest times ever, bro. Like, if you have a job, till you seen them tweets that say, yo, don't quit your job if you got a good job because it's tough out here. Niggas will tell you it is tough. So if you have a job and you got a solid job and it's a job that you could potentially make more money in if you really focus type shit and try to move up or whatever. Or let's say a lot of niggas want to get their IT certification, but I'm still just waiting, or I'm thinking about doing this, but I'm just, waiting. Do it. It's the same thing, especially these years. Looking back, it's like, yo, if I would have been thinking how I'm thinking now, but at 25, I would be so much more up. I would have so much more structure in my life. I would have already bought a house type shit. Mm-hmm. It's certain shit that I wish I would have did already. But now the market fucked up, and you stuck with the decisions you didn't make between 25 and 29. So it's definitely something to think about, and a message that can go in one end, out the other, but you'll loop back to this episode and hear this message after your 30th birthday and be like, you know what? These motherfuckers was telling me some shit that I may not have took serious back then. Because we heard it. We heard it before.
Yeah.
It's like the motherfucker that said you need to focus on your grades in school. You ever talk to you remember being in high school and somebody said you need to focus on your grades because trust me, you don't want to be like me or you want to be like such and such. And you're like, yeah.
All right.
I still got a 2.3. Fuck it.
Or they tell you even at the young age that when college ain't gonna be like this, college ain't gonna be nobody to help you. You're gonna have to go to college and you paying for that. We went to college and realized, damn, there is no help. You right. We are paying for this shit.
Man, you paying for it.
The nigga, just know that the people that's talking to you above you, they not just giving you their opinion. They literally live their life. That 25 through 29, that's real life. That's knowing your parents are now old. That's knowing that you now gotta pay your own life insurance, health insurance. You got your dental shit. That's when you hopefully you seeing all your peers start doing adult shit. That's when life really does get real. So, and like he said it with the content creator thing, I think it's dope y'all get to go back and look at an episode like this where we maybe not be so, whatever. And it's a little bit more personal because
that's what it deserved to be honest.
Yeah.
It deserved to be that this week. And once again, proud of you. It's the most fulfilling thing to see you do this shit. To see you, I got a video I just took of him changing or him waking her up, and I'm like, look at this motherfucker doing it. Like, man, I'm telling you, it is the most fulfilling thing ever. And I have said on this podcast 1,000 times, you'll see. And I'm not, this isn't like I told you so type of moment.
But it's your best one.
It is not. But, man, being able to watch you do it is like, I could never really explain it for real.
Because when I couldn't tie my shoe, he watched me finally figure it out. When I couldn't ride a bike on 2 wheels, I still had training wheels. Terrell figured out how to do the 2 wheels. And it's me looking at him like, and needing like that help, You've always been the dude that was right there to like help me with it. It would be times where Terrell would tie his shoe and I'm just standing there waiting for him to tie mine. It goes all the way back to Terrell would cut both our hair at a certain point because I couldn't cut my hair. Terrell just learned to cut hair better than me, and then I ended up getting spiffy with the clippers and starting to been able to do whatever. But like That's why the things that I do before Terrell also I cling on to heavy.
Yes.
You know? But
he's also the visionary too. Y'all don't know, like, if you just want some insight on the way we run the Mallory Bros operation, Terrence is a visionary. Terrence is the CEO. He's an executive. He has the executive vision. I am the financial. I look at the money side and I'm like, we need a new idea so we can make more money. And that's not to say that I don't have ideas and that he doesn't have financial input, of course, but we just kind of always fell into these roles because throughout my life, though I've always done little shit first and like, I've taken certain big steps first, Terrence will do it in a way that I'm like, I've never been a bunny ears guy. I'm a one loop, round the one loop, through the loop tie. Terrence, boom, boom, bunny ears. So like, I taught you to tie the regular way, and then you go do it a different way that's just more effective for you. Mm-hmm. You still do bunny ears?
Absolutely not, Terrell.
Oh, you do now?
I do not. Yeah, I do it a legit.
Niggas still do
it. If you're 30 doing bunny ears, that's nuts. You're 30 doing bunny ears to tie your shoe.
Terrence, honestly,
loop.
He's still the same thing. But you always have been the person that, you always been somebody that I look to for like Terrence saw the YouTube shit working for us when I was getting ready to make 100 racks. Niggas don't understand how big that is to me. And to me, it's the ultimate eclipse of, it's the ultimate payoff for everything that he feels like I taught him or did anything first. I was about to make 100 racks at Best Buy. And we shit on Best Buy all the time, or we shit on our retail careers all the time. I was literally months, weeks from making 100 racks. I was making 80 already. I thought that 20 grand bump was going to be it. And he said, bro, and he had been telling me for years, if we do this shit, and we actually put full effort into it, even when we had that, go look at that vlog where we said we was doing MalloryBros full time, it was me that made us keep the jobs part-time. So even though we was full-time YouTube, we didn't really do that shit full time. I made sure we kept a foot in the door at Best Buy just in case we needed to go back. Apocalypse happened. We did go back. But it was the vision that took us out, that when it was time to leave again. When I quit my job, y'all, I was not worried about money at all. I was more so hurt behind the fact that I'm leaving some shit that I really fuck with, because like leadership, and that shit,
running a team,
I fuck with that. I got so ingratiated. I got so passionate about it. I've always been passionate about it since I was 18, working at Fridays. But leaving that and him telling me we was gonna be straight, he sent me. I'll never forget when I quit my job. I'm in a McDonald's on Duke Street parking lot. I pulled in. I didn't even want shit from McDonald's. I pulled into the motherfucking number one where they tell you to park. And I'm just crying, pissed off. This is the day after. Matter of fact, this is before I quit. This is when they called my bluff. Y'all know my story. They called my bluff and told me, yo, you could leave your keys, whatever type shit. And that was the first time I felt like, yo, I should quit this bitch. And I was sad about it. And Terrence sent me the Nipsey Hussle joint, Perfect Time. And sometimes it felt like perfect time. Sometimes perfect time, it felt like I'm too late, but I'm still great in spite of my mistakes. I will never forget that day. I told the nigga I didn't get the job. I ain't even tell him I was sitting there in my feelings. And when he sent me that track, he didn't even say shit back. He just sent me the track. Played the track. Shit changed my life.
I, to this day, cannot listen to that track without crying. Only because he say, I can't. Yeah. I can't even say it.
And that's why I said, let me just get it out before I get along.
Yeah. I can say it. He say, sometimes perfect time and feel like I'm too late. And On love that song. A-Train love that song too. I know I'm still great in spite of my mistakes. Before you run your race, you got to find a pace. Just cross the line. He say something about, I forget it. I'm blanking. But that spoke to me at a moment in my life where I'm like, this nigga Terrell about to make 100 racks. Y'all think I was about to make 100 racks? No. Terrell, if we could put this into a whatever term, Terrell was the head house nigga getting ready to get a bedroom in the big house. I'm still a field slave, with another Negro behind me. He threw a Steven Negro behind me, beating my back end.
Terrence. Jesus Christ.
I'm getting whooped. I'm picking. I was in the pits and I needed this. I needed them. Like, I could see exactly what. Anyway, I needed this nigga, and when I needed him, the timing was legit perfect. That's why with this here, even with my baby girl coming into the world, you know,
I'm brought back to that.
I'm brought back to that moment. Because sometimes perfect timing does feel like you're late. Sometimes you don't feel great in spite of your mistakes. Sometimes you don't think that you did it the right way, but it was perfect timing. Because guess what? This led to that, and that led to this, and this led to that. And that's what this 9 is all about. It's all about the continuation and completion. So, long story less long, you know, for the young people out there, especially the people that's 25 through 29, the young men, people who have been fathers since you was 18. Some of you crossed this bridge before me, the best hood in the world. I'm glad to be a part of the best gang in the world. Dad gang, and then shout out to my girl dads out there. Like, shock them. Let them think, and this is no shade, let them think that you're not ready. Terrell didn't think we was ready at one point. I never thought we weren't, you know? And it's only with this. There's things where I don't think we ready, and Terrell think we are. But, like, that to me is the real essence of progress. That's the real essence of a grind. It don't matter what the fuck you doing. Don't never let anybody tell you that what you're doing isn't important because you might not have a flashy camera on you or an audience behind you. You grinding the way that you grinding, and everything adds up. And with the 9, it always adds back. That's why I love that statement. Everything adds up. Because the way that I look at it, it's always going to come back to completion.
Yes.
When you get to your 9, you'll realize, whatever it is, you'll realize that, like, damn, all that bullshit I went through here, watching Ann grab her stomach, you know. Terrell, you remember, I still go and I still have a reflex to put my hand on Ann's stomach, but then it's like, all right. And now that's going because baby girl is right here.
But I'll leave y'all with this. I wrote this shit down in my notes because I was thinking about it. Candace, big shout out to her and Samarian, my brother-in-law. They celebrated their anniversary, you know, from their wedding. She posted a beautiful spread on her page, and I was looking at pictures of the wedding. I was looking at pictures I went back in my phone and said, "Oh, man, let me go back to the day I was snapping shit." Right? Looking at pictures of Sunny Girl, and I'm like, damn, first of all, I was in a completely emotional space. You know what I'm saying? You know how shit just gets you emotional? But I put, take more pictures, capture more memories. There's days in your life that you live and have no idea it was one of the best days of your life. My sister's wedding was one of the best days of my life.
It was.
And on that day, I didn't realize it was one of the best days of my life or would go down as one of my favorite memories. But looking back at the pictures from that day, right, is a natural high that you can use when life take you to a very low place. And I said, damn, this make me want to take more pictures. I took my son to the park. Sometimes, like recently, I have so many pictures of my son that I'm like, you don't got to take a picture of everything. But after that, I said, nah, you know what? I do. Even though we just went to Sweet Frog and we just went to the park, I'm going to look back at that one day and be like, damn, this was a good-ass day, and I captured it. So if you somebody that don't really take pics like that for real, you're not really into the, I like to live in the moment. That's why I do not judge people who at the basketball game, they like to put up the picture where people say, oh, look at everybody with their phone now. Why can't people just live in the moment? The motherfuckers in the 70s, in the 80s, early 2000s that didn't have the ability to do that or had to have a handy cam, look how people look at handy cam footage. Look at how people recall things. Like,
we love the handy cam footage. We love going back to look at those memories and wish that they did more.
Yeah, because you never know if you having one of the best days of your life because you won't know in the moment. It'll be subconscious. You're going to be enjoying it too much.
That's a fact.
But you can remember to capture it that day.
And me and Aunt captured so much of the labor and delivery. Like, literally, I'm like...
These motherfuckers turned it into a damn
production. Dilated. So-and-so dilated.
And you got to put that all together in a joint.
I do. I will keep it 100. It has been a long, rough 9 months. Mm-hmm. And I think, shout out to everybody who's been tapped in, but we've grinded through all of those months the best we could. And some of y'all might not think it was enough for your liking, but I definitely think, there's going to be, now that the baby girl's here, and she's giving me such a dope, I feel like she's giving me such a dope work ethic. Like, On's like, you got this weird, and I keep calling her On because I've been with her. Look, I should be saying A-Train, but them girls give me a battery that I never had before. Mm-hmm. Like, Terrell was telling me, you're going to be tired, you're going to be sleepy, you're going to need sleep. And I do, but On kept me going before, and now seeing the mini version of her, you know this, Terrell. Mm-hmm. I was head over heels for the girl for years before I met her. And then she knocked my socks off when we got together. Mm-hmm. And this just took shit to another level.
Nah, it's different.
Yeah. At first, I would jump in front of a train for On. I'd push her out the way and get hit by a train. Right? For that little version of On in there, I'm Spider-Man on the front of the train, stopping this bitch with my fucking webs out. I will run full speed at the train on some invincible shit.
Fear nothing. Fear nothing. I
said it last week. If it's about mine, there's nothing I won't do. Nothing.
And you said that before you got to even see that face.
Before I saw that face.
That was about your boy.
That was about you. And I felt that way about Terrell. And then I met On. Felt that way about her. I feel that way about her family. My soon-to-be mom-in-law is here, helping us with the baby, and she has made this so easy for us.
And I know you feel different about Nay than you felt before.
Yeah.
And because, G-Mom stayed with us for months.
Yeah.
And the way, even seeing her to this day, is like, I would never forget you being there for me.
She was right there. There. It was at a point where I had one leg and they had the other leg. Trust me, I would never forget that. Never forget. That's why if On say, oh, I'm done with him. Okay, well, I'm still showing up to family events. I'm still flying out. I'm still flying back. She could be whatever. I'm going to say, oh, yeah, I used to be. Yeah, I know the new bruh, but okay, I used to be. We locked forever, man. And we're going to make that official. For real,
got to.
Niggas gotta do shit the right way.
Come on, man. But yeah, y'all, I'll tell y'all this. I was gonna tell you this. This is what the podcast gonna be, y'all. It's gonna be a shorty this week, but I don't want to riddle it. I feel like it's too special of a combo to riddle it with some of the drama. We'll get to everything that has been happening.
We still gonna have NFL picks coming, but for this week. If you felt like it was too personal, take the week off.
Yeah.
Whatever. We almost didn't do it, but
we be back next week with the BS.
We'll be back on our shits next week, and I won't lie. We're not being super shy with the girl. I might bring baby girl and let y'all see her if she's willing.
All right, yeah, for sure. I will say this, y'all. Be prepared for this pod to start looking a little bit different because
just because, we want to have
not that we about to be on a stage. It will be this. Just might be in a different place. The same way we went from the old spot to here.
This.
Things are moving.
Yeah.
He got a brand new baby. We ain't going to be able to come over here screaming at each other about, stuff all the time. So
100%. But, y'all, like I said, one thing I can tell you is that the engine in me is different. And this baby, I think, is a great thing for all of us. So, yeah, I want to say that I just appreciate everybody who even gives a fuck. Anybody who's bought Sonny a gift. I'm going to try my damnedest to go. That registry is still up. I'm going to try to go and find people, try to line their gifts up. It was people that bought just 1,000 wipes, 400 diapers. I am going to figure out a way to reach out to those who really showed they love, because it really does not go, unappreciated. And like I said, everything adds up.
That's a fact. With that said, everybody be safe. It's rainy. It's a little buggy cold going around. We'll be back next week with the bullshit. Tune in Wednesday night for the picks. Next time.